next day, Jackson and Uwabukonye went to the man's house. When they saw how big the compound was, Uwabukonye became scared and wanted to turn back. But the man opened his window, called Jackson, and invited them inside. After greeting each other, the man said, "Jackson, is this your master?" "Yes," Jackson replied. The man looked at Uwabukonye and said, "Go home for now. Come back another day. I want to talk to you alone." Uwabukonye frowned. "I will not come back again," he said. But the man replied calmly, "Young man, I want to help you. If you want, come back. If you don't want, it is your choice." Uwabukonye went home restless. He thought about the man's words for days. Finally, he went back. This time the man introduced himself properly. "My name is Ukudi," he said. "Your boy has told me everything. If you want to recover your shop and goods, you must go to Eyes of the Weak, the gods who fight for the weak. They have helped many people reclaim what was stolen from them. Even me. They helped me recover my land and business. But listen carefully," Ukudi warned. "The Eyes of the Weak live deep in Tankta Forest. It will take 4 days to get there. There is only one condition. If you fall 3 times while walking into the forest, it means you will disobey the gods in the future. But if you do not fall, it means you will always obey them." Fear entered Uwabukonye's heart. He thought Ukudi might ask him to sacrifice his wife or child. "What if I fall?" Uwabukonye asked. "Then you must sacrifice a cow to the Eyes of the Weak to cleanse yourself," Ukudi said. Uwabukonye thought for a moment and said, "If I fall, I will not give 1 cow. I will give 2, if only all that we have lost is returned." The next day, Uwabukonye and Ukudi started their journey to Tankta Forest. It was a long walk. When they finally entered the forest, Uwabukonye stumbled and fell 3 times. Ukudi turned to him and said, "You have fallen 3 times. This means you must sacrifice a cow to the Eyes of the Weak before they will help you." They continued walking until they reached a clearing deep inside the forest. There, Uwabukonye saw a red wrapper stained with blood. Fear entered his heart, and he turned to run back home. Suddenly, a loud voice echoed through the forest. "Uwabukonye, stop! You have seen it all. I am the Eyes of the Weak. I know your problems, and I have decided to help you, because your boy helped my son. Everything you are about to receive was meant for Jackson, but since he is serving you, I will give them to you. But hear my warning. When Jackson finishes serving you, do not do evil against him. I see the future, and I see you planning to treat him badly. If you do, everything I give you today I will take back from you. I do not need human blood. I fight for those who have no strength. All I require is that you sacrifice 1 ram every year to honor me. Now tell me, what else do you want?" Uwabukonye bowed his head and said, "I have lost everything. My shop, my money, my goods. Please help me to secure a new shop and start again." The voice answered, "All your problems are solved. Go, and do not look back." When they left the forest, things began to change. Within months, Uwabukonye found a good shop. Customers returned. Business grew. In a few years, Uwabukonye had many shops in different places and 7 boys working for him. Jackson was made the manager of all the shops. Uwabukonye hardly came to the market anymore because Jackson took care of everything. But Uwabukonye forgot the promise he made to the Eyes of the Weak. He no longer sacrificed the yearly ram. He spent his time buying houses, cars, and land in different towns. He traveled out of the country whenever he wanted. People began to whisper about him, but Uwabukonye didn't care. Years passed. Jackson had now served for 11 years, almost double the time agreed. One day he called his master and said, "Master, please settle me. I have served you faithfully for many years." Uwabukonye replied, "I will settle you. Don't worry, I am still planning everything." Jackson left quietly. That night, Uwabukonye remembered what his wife had once said, and he decided not to settle Jackson at all. Jackson kept working but saw no sign that Uwabukonye was planning to free him. Anger and pain grew in his heart. After a few days, he went to his elder brother's friend and told him everything. The man promised to talk to Uwabukonye, but each time he came, Uwabukonye would say, "I don't have time today. Come tomorrow." Tired of waiting, Jackson decided to leave. A few days later, he packed his things and told his master he was traveling to the village. Uwabukonye said, "Wait for me. I am coming." Jackson sat down, waiting. Suddenly, policemen entered the house, arrested him, and took him to the station. No questions were asked. Jackson stayed in the cell for months, with little food, little water, and no visitors. Even Uwabukonye's wife never came. The police kept calling Uwabukonye to come and make a statement, but he refused. Instead, he kept sending them money every month. For 11 long months, Jackson remained locked up. At last, the police released him, but they continued collecting money from Uwabukonye every month. Jackson did not go to the village. He said to himself, "I am a man now. My family is poor. My brothers are suffering. My community wants to take my father's land. No, I will not go home. I will not let them see me like this. I want to be a successful man, a man who does not depend on anyone. My master tried for me once, but he has betrayed me. I forgive him. May the gods fight for me." As Jackson walked, thinking about what to do next, one of his old customers, a woman named Agadima, saw him. She was shocked. "Jackson, is this really you? Why do you look so dirty? Where is your master? Why are you here?" Jackson didn't know where to start. First, he asked her for water. Then he told her everything. Agadima shook her head. "Jackson, I know we used to argue when I came to your master's shop, but you were always honest. You never cheated me. You never sold me fake goods. You are a good boy. Don't worry, you will not suffer again. Wait for my husband to come back. We will help you." That evening, Agadima's husband returned. After hearing the whole story, he said, "Jackson, you can stay with us. We have no children. At least you helped my wife's business when you worked for your master." Jackson moved into their home. Every morning he woke up early, cleaned the house, and went to open Agadima's shop. Soon, he started repairing electrical gadgets for people. Customers began to trust him again. With time, Jackson saved enough money to rent his own shop. Agadima and her husband were very happy. They gave him money to support him. Jackson became his own master. His business grew quickly. Soon he had 18 shops and 48 boys serving under him. Every week, containers full of goods arrived from abroad. Jackson sold at good prices, and people came from far and wide to buy from him. One day, Jackson traveled back to his village. He wanted his brothers to come and help manage his business. He did not even tell them what he had gone through. He only returned with all of his brothers to the city, ready to build a future for his family. Years passed, and Jackson's name became known everywhere. He was now a billionaire. He no longer stayed in the shops. Instead, he traveled from country to country, running big businesses and signing deals with major companies who wanted him to sell their products. Jackson shared his shops among his brothers, so whenever people visited the business, they mostly saw his brothers managing everything. Meanwhile, Uwabukonye's life had fallen apart. Not because of what he did to Jackson, but because he failed to keep the promise he made to the eyes of the weak. His wealth vanished like smoke. His cars, lands, and houses were gone. He sold everything, even his own house. His wife now sold bananas on the street to feed the family. Desperate to survive, Uwabukonye started buying goods on credit from a big shop in town, not knowing that the shop belonged to Jackson. Jackson's brothers who ran the business didn't know who he was either, but soon, Uwabukonye's debt became too much. Jackson's brothers kept asking him to pay, but he had no money. Finally, they reported him to the police. One evening, policemen came to arrest him. At the station, they asked, "Do you know why you are here?" Uwabukonye shook his head. "No, sir." "How many people do you owe?" "Many. Too many. But which one brought me here?" The policeman said, "You owe Jackson's shop. His brother will come tomorrow." The next day when Jackson's brother arrived, Uwabukonye was shocked. "This is the man I owe, not Jackson's brother," he said. The young man replied, "I am Jackson's brother." "Do you know Jackson?" "Yes," Uwabukonye said quietly. "Then you know that he once served you." Uwabukonye's head dropped in shame. That evening, Jackson himself came to the station. When Uwabukonye saw him, tears rolled down his face. He knelt down, crying and begging for mercy. Jackson stood tall, calm, and strong. "Uwabukonye," he said softly, "I forgave you long ago, the day I came out of prison. I served you with all my strength. I even connected you to someone who helped you when you were poor. But what did you do? You put me in prison without cause. I have forgiven you, but you must pay all that you owe. A man must reap what he sows." Uwabukonye wept bitterly. His life had turned upside down. The words of the eyes of the weak echoed in his mind, a warning he had ignored. Jackson turned and walked away. He had already forgiven his former master in his heart, but justice had taken its course. Uwabukonye was left with nothing but regret, a lesson to all who make promises to men and to the gods and do not keep them.